So I think we're going to thank you everyone for joining. We're going to go ahead and get started as a subcommittee. We don't yet have a quorum, but we're going to begin the meeting at 4:03. Pursuant to SB 189, the meeting is being conducted by way of teleconference, and it's being broadcast in room 4221 at the Ziggurat Building at 707 3rd Street in West Sacramento for anyone that wants to provide public comment in person. In order for the meeting to run efficiently, please use the following guidelines. All attendees will be muted during the meeting. If you would like to make a comment, please use the raise hand feature in the Zoom interface. And at the appropriate time, I'll call your names and we will ask to unmute you. If you're calling into the meeting and not using a computer or the Zoom app, unfortunately, you won't be able to provide public comment. But again, you either use the Zoom interface or appear in person at 707 7th Street. There is not going to be a closed session at this meeting. And I'm going to just see, we're going to start as a subcommittee. So we have 5 members present. So it allows us to hear some comment. And then when the rest of our members join, we'll go ahead and see if they have any questions and then establish a quorum and begin the vote. So starting as a subcommittee, any questions on the minutes? Of course, we can't take a vote, but we'll just make sure there's no questions. Seeing none, any public comment on the minutes? Seeing none, we will go to the executive officer's report, please. Ms. Silverman.
Yes. Happy New Year, everybody. And glad we're starting the year. And it's exciting news that we just wanted to give the board an update about the apportionments they took action on in October and also November. There was quite a bit of funds allocated, over nearly $803 million did go out in October. And we wanted to provide the board an update that as of January 24th, we actually had over $708 million with fund release requests. And I know the deadline actually was yesterday. And I'm sure I'll have some new updates. And I apologize, that update was for the $708 million was as of Friday. So I'm sure definitely districts were coming in with their fund release documents and any other documentation that they had to submit to our office. And also in November, we actually did release apportioned nearly $110 million. And as of Friday, we had over $65 million of documentation requesting to release the funds come into the office. So that's great news. So we're actually making a big progress with releasing the funds. So that's great news for the districts and actually moving forward with the construction project. So great news for that. And then we also want to announce that we have the upcoming filing round for the California Preschool and Transitional Kindergarten and Full Day Kindergarten Grant Program. That program starts, we start accepting applications February 1st. It closes March 2nd. So those folks who are seriously interested in applying for the program grants, we have $350 million that's eligible. So please apply and also apply on online feature. So it's very fast and convenient for districts to submit their application electronically. We also hosted a webinar on January 18th to give opportunities to share some of the successes we've had with applications, but also address some of the challenges we have with some of the applications. So again, this more or less highlight how you can successfully access the program, avoid some of the shortcomings of the applications that we received in the last filing round. So we had 330 registered attendants, but we actually had about 243 actually participate in that Zoom training. And the goal of the training was to again, how to perfect your application when you come in through the door and actually how to access the financial hardship program successfully. And again, we have it posted on YouTube. And again, we're encouraging folks to also apply online. And we actually have a walk down feature of how to apply online. And so it was great news of providing districts a tutorial on how easy it is to apply for that application. And the last announcement we wanted to share is we have a joint virtual office hours. We did put that announcement out a few weeks ago. Next Friday, February 3rd, from 11 a.m. to noon, we are partnering with the Department of Education, and we're happy about that. The goal is to really have an open dialogue with our districts about any topic. I know most people think that we have to have convenience of having formal meetings via Zoom or come into the office, but we want to make it informal so they can ask any question about our program or how to file an application, share successes. So we're looking forward to that, our first virtual office hours, and we'll be posting additional times every month for the remaining portion of the year, and excited about that. So we'll be reporting out how many we have attend this virtual workshop. And again, we're excited about this opportunity. And our next meeting is February 22nd at 4 o'clock.
Great, thank you. An amazing work.
We have a quorum.
We have a quorum. So apparently there was an issue with our public links. So I'm just going to keep everyone up to date. Thank you for joining the State Allocation Board. We started as a subcommittee at 4:03 p.m. We went through the executive director's report. We did not take any action. And so we will offer an opportunity for public comment. If anyone has any public comment on the executive officer's report, I invite you to go to the State Allocation Board's website or reach out to Ms. Kampminer or Ms. Silverman, the executive director. And are there any comments on the minutes from anyone? Ms. Lasso?
No, sorry, I didn't have a comment on the minutes. I had a comment on the director's report.
Oh, great. Okay, please. So if you don't mind, if we can establish a quorum, vote on the minutes, and then we'll go to questions on the executive officer's report. Does that work for you? Great. Thank you very much. So if Ms. Jones, if you don't mind establishing a quorum for us, please.
I certainly will. Thank you.
Thank you.
Senator Wilk.
Present.
Senator Laird.
Present.
Assemblymember Bonta. Juan Morales. Juan Morales.
Here.
Okay, thank you, Juan. Jeremy Smith.
Here.
Ana Lasso.
Here.
Gail Miller.
Here, and I will move, so wait, we have a quorum.
That was
I
a
will
quorum.
move, thank you. I'll move approval of the minutes. There were no questions. Thank you. May we take the roll, please?
Senator Wilk.
Aye.
Senator Laird.
Aye.
Juan Morales.
Aye.
Jeremy Smith.
Aye.
Ana Lasso.
Aye.
Gail Miller.
Aye. So the minutes are approved. We'll keep that open for Assemblymember Bonta. Okay, question on Ms. Lasso on the executive officer's report, please.
Less a question, more a comment and praise to both Ms. Silverman and Ms. Kampminer for taking the opportunity, taking their staff and putting out the opportunity for folks to chime in, ask questions during these virtual office hours. I don't know if I missed it, but will the office hours be hosted only by your office, or will you be collaborating with another department?
We're collaborating with CDE, Department of
Proud
Education.
partners.
So
Yes, very proud partners to collaborate.
So I just want to say thank
Thank
you,
you.
because this is just another example of how we're creating access and being innovative on how we get people together and being purposeful. So thank you so much.
Thank you for that comment, Ms. Lasso. Anyone else? Seeing none, we'll now move to the financial reports, please, Ms. Silverman.
yes, on page 82, I know I was excited about sharing all the funds that we've been releasing over the past few months, but this just highlights on page 82 the fund disbursements in November. I know we actually did meet in November, but we didn't have an opportunity to share. We did release nearly $183 million in November and over nearly $106 million in December. And again, we'll be excited to report back next month about how we've been released the remaining funds for the October apportionments, and also share some updates on the release of funds for the October apportionments as well. And then on the status of funds, page 84 and 85, since typically in January, we don't have a lot of program, we actually don't present program grants. So that gives the board an opportunity to reflect some construction cost index adjustments to those program grants for 2023. So what you see in a consent agenda is very limited. And it's about 6 projects that we have in the consent agenda that relates to closeout adjustments and some rescissions. So with that, I'll open it to any questions. We have about $4.5 million posting in the consent agenda.
Great. Any questions? And we'll talk, the last item on the agenda is obviously the annual cost increases for construction that Ms. Campminer will go over with us. Seeing none, we're going to move to the Sequoia USD appeal, please, Ms. Campminer.
Excuse me, Madam Chair, just real quick. We didn't vote on the consent calendar at all.
Oh my goodness, I'm sorry. I will move the consent calendar. Thank you, Ms. Jones.
Thank you.
You need a second?
I do.
Second.
I also need to find my head if you want to help with that. Okay. Any public comment on the consent agenda? Seeing none, we have a motion by Miller, a second by Senator Laird. May we please take the roll?
Yes. Senator Wilk,
Aye.
Senator Laird,
Aye.
Juan Morales,
Aye.
Jeremy Smith,
Aye.
Ana Lasso,
Aye.
Gail Miller.
Aye. So the consent agenda is approved, but we will wait for Assemblymember Bonta to complete it. And now I can move to the appeal, right?
That's correct.
Okay. Thank you, Ms. Campminer. Sorry about that.
No problem. Excellent. So the appeal today is for Sequoia Union High School District, and it's for a new construction application for Tide Academy, which is a new 15 classroom high school. And the district is requesting that the board reinstate and provide an apportionment for this application based on a request for 9 pupil grants of eligibility for severe special day class students, and using the grant amounts that were available in 2021, which was when the application was first reviewed. And before I get too far into the details, I did want to share that staff supports this request, and were it not for the timing issues with this application, the approval normally would have been done through the consent calendar portion of the agenda. But for some background, the district originally submitted this application in July of 2018 and requested to use 405 pupil grants at the 9-12 grade level. However, when OPSA was processing the application in July of 2021, the district had no eligibility at the 9th through 12th grade level and only had eligibility for severe special day class pupils. And that's shown on page 123 of the agenda. Eligibility information using enrollment from both the 2020, 2021 and 21, excuse me, let me try that again. Information from the 2020, 2021, and the 1920 school years was evaluated at the time that we originally processed the application. And that was due to the flexibility that the board had provided back in August of 2021 when we were looking at the declines associated with COVID-19. However, neither of those years resulted in the eligibility that the district had originally requested. They did submit an appeal prior to the one that we're currently talking about, requesting to delay the processing of the application until the enrollment for the 21-22 enrollment year could be considered. But the district did experience some challenges in getting the information necessary to determine that eligibility, because they actually have a large number of feeder elementary school districts and charter schools that that information is necessary to accurately calculate the enrollment for the high school district. And so that was, unfortunately, they were not able to get that information at the time. So we did return the appeal and invited the district to resubmit the appeal once they had the information available to them. So this current appeal was submitted in August of 22, and that was after the district had determined that the 21-22 enrollment year and also the 22-23 enrollment year did not result in eligibility that would support the original funding request. But prior to resubmitting the appeal, the district had worked with the Department of Education to determine if one of the classroom spaces in the facility would meet the regulatory requirements to be usable as a space for the severe special day class students. And the design of the facility did support this option, so the district was able to receive an updated plan approval from the Department of Education. And it did confirm that one of those classroom spaces was considered usable for the severe special day class purposes. And so with this update, what it allows is for the district to access eligibility in the severe special day class category. And they did have that available back when the application was processed in 2021. So as there was one space, one classroom available for this designation, they're eligible to use 9 pupil grants at the severe special day class level for purposes of eligibility. And again, had this path been chosen back in 2021, this would not have been terribly out of the ordinary. We would have just processed it as an administrative approval through the consent agenda. However, the issue we have is that we cannot administratively reinstate this application. So that's the ask before the board today. And in reinstating the application, the board, we have on page 136, the funding items. So it is available for the board to approve. So by approving the appeal, you'd be approving the request to reinstate the application, use the 9 severe special day class students and the 2021 grant amounts, which we do feel we agree with the district that that's the appropriate grant amount to use because that's when the application was originally eligible for processing. And so that funding shell is available for on page 136 of the agenda if the board does opt to approve this appeal. And I believe we also have the district on the Zoom meeting today if there are questions, but I'd also be happy to address any questions as well.
Great. Thanks, Ms. Camp-Meinert. And thank you, Ms. Leach, for being here, the superintendent of Sequoia Union High. Anything you want to add, Ms. Leach?
No, but if approval, I'd like to thank some people.
Thank you very much. Any questions or public comment? Seeing none, thank you to the team for working on this and bringing it to the board. I welcome Ms. Bonta. Thank you for being here. Is there a motion to approve this appeal?
Wilk moves approval.
Second.
Thank you, Senator Wilk. Thank you, Senator Laird. Ms. Jones, will you call the roll, please?
Yes, I will. Senator Wilk,
Aye.
Senator Laird,
Aye.
Assembly Member Bonta,
Assembly member, you're muted. Thank you.
thank you. Juan Morales,
Aye.
Jeremy Smith,
Aye.
Ana Lasso,
Aye.
Gail Miller.
Aye. The appeal is approved. Ms. Leach, do you want to make any comments to anyone on your team?
Yes, thank you so much. Good afternoon. Again, Crystal Leach, a superintendent of Sequoia Union High School District. I just want to thank OPSC and the appeals team, Brian Leposk, Michael Watanabe, and Alexandra Rubola for their help with this. Really guided us through this, and we are just so thankful that we will be able to push these dollars back into our schools and good for our students. So thank you for all of the work that you all do.
Great, thank you very much. And I agree. Thank you to the incredible OPSC team and to everything that you're doing at Sequoia for the students of California. We are really grateful. Thank you. So our last item, and then we'll go back through the agenda, Assembly Member Bonta. The last item is we'll turn to Ms. Camp-Meinert for the annual construction costs. And I do want to just note how hard or is it Ms. Silverman, the annual adjustment to the school facility grant program and the costs associated with it. And just a huge shout out again to the team for pulling these numbers together. In order to continue to make awards, we needed these numbers to have a clear view of construction costs. And the work that went into ensuring that we had sufficient data to determine the cost increases was really significant. So very grateful to you. And is Ms. Silverman, right, is presenting this item to the board?
Yeah.
Okay.
either way. No, and I do want to acknowledge that there was a lot of effort. I appreciate the chair mentioning that because, yeah, without this data, we couldn't provide the increases to our grants. So I appreciate that. And thank you for allowing us to do this today. So we're excited about presenting the adjustments for the annual increases. And as a result, that we're presenting a 9.3% annual increase to the statewide cost index. This reflects on the state school facility grant program grants, and it's reflective of Class B. And we wanted to just to highlight that annually we do this every year, and this results in districts for the last few years, obviously getting several increases over the since 2016. We've been using RS means as the adopted basis for using the indices for construction Class B. And so what we wanted is just to highlight to the board is these adjustments, all noted, taking consideration all the pupil grant adjustments and the supplementary grants that we do award as well. So this index is compared and determined by the rate of change determined year over year. And so we compared for 2023, the index for 2022, and compared that to the data we have for 2023. And that information is converted to a percentage. So as a result, we're requesting the board to adopt the 9.3 proposed percentage increase for the school facilities program grants, and also taking consideration of the chart of information of the updated supplemental grants and per pupil grants for the program, and approve the grants for all projects moving forward, and approve for the remaining of the year for the State Allocation Board school facility program grants. So with that, we're asking the board to approve the increase.
Great, thank you very much. Any questions? Seeing none, I will move approval of the increase. May we have a second, please?
Second.
Thank you, Ms. Lasso. And any public comment? Seeing none, Ms. Jones, will you please take the roll?
Yes. Senator Wilk,
Aye.
Senator Laird,
Aye.
Assemblymember Bonta,
Aye.
Juan Morales,
Aye.
Jeremy Smith,
Aye.
Ana Lasso,
Aye.
Gail Miller.
Aye. Thank you, Ms. Jones. And the annual adjustment to the school facility program grants is adopted. And then before we move back through the agenda, Assemblymember Bonta, we'll just turn it to Ms. Silverman to talk to us about the 90-day workload.
Questions on the 90-day workload and the appeals log? Open up to any questions.
Seeing none, any public comment? Anyone wishing to comment, public comment for any reason, please use the raise hand feature in Zoom. Seeing none, we appreciate you all being here. Thank you very much. And we'll see you next month. And Assemblymember Bonta, if you don't mind staying just for the few items, please. Thank you very much. Thank you to everyone.
Thank you.
Okay, Ms. Jones, the floor is yours for the open items.
Thank you, Chair. Assemblymember Bonta, how do you vote on the minutes?
Aye.
And on the consent calendar?
Aye.
And I believe you are all caught up. Yes, you
Great.
are. Thank you, ma'am.
Perfect. Thank you, everyone. Happy New Year. Thank you for being here, and we'll see you next month. Take care, everyone.
Take care.
Bye.